Hi guys, good evening and welcome to this very important session which I've been postponing for a long time. I think this was scheduled yesterday and we have postponed it a lot. Hi Vaishnavi, welcome to the session. We're going to start this very soon. And yeah, of course, Vaishnavi is always the first person to attend the session in all the classes. And in our previous session, as we are doing the complete course on Constitution of India, we are done till fundamental rights. And today we are going to start DPSP. And from tomorrow, I'll try taking regular classes on YouTube as well. So stay tuned for that. So today we are going to discuss about DPSPs, which is again a very important component for all your upcoming law exams in India. And yeah, so let's directly get into the thing. Let's directly get into our business. So first very important points which you have to remember for all your upcoming law exams is that articles 36 to 51 under part 4 of the Indian Constitution deals with DPSPs or directive principles of state policy. We have discussed in the previous class articles 12 to 35 talks about fundamental rights. Articles 5 to 11 talks about citizenship. Articles 1 to 4 talks about union and its territory. So as of now we are done with 35 articles, and from now on we are going to discuss from articles 36 to 51. And DPSPs are borrowed from the Constitution of Ireland. Article 45 of the Irish Constitution talks about DPSP, and we have copied this particular feature from there. Okay, and Ireland, we have taken this feature from Ireland, and Ireland had copied this particular from Spain, that is Spanish Constitution. Okay, I hope this is clear for everyone. We have borrowed this from Ireland. If there is a question in the examination, DPSPs are borrowed from which country? It is borrowed from Irish Constitution or the Constitution of Ireland from Article 45, and Ireland borrowed it from Spain. So let us proceed further and understand what exactly are the features of DPSP. But before getting into that, I have some very important announcement that if you are somebody who is preparing for the CLAT examination, I have a very important batch for all of you. That is a score booster batch, which is a 3-month comprehensive batch for CLAT 2022 aspirants by NLU alumni. Batch is starting on 9th of February, that is tomorrow, in both Hindi and English. This is a bilingual batch and this is a 3-month batch. And in this particular batch, most of our educators are from NLUs. Ayushi Rajput is from RGNUL Patiala, and then Raghavendra Pratap is from NLU Lucknow. Priyanshu is from NLS Bangalore. Neha Singh is from University of Birmingham. Vaibhav Prakash is from NLU Ranchi, and Kriti Singh is from UPTU Lucknow. So all our educators in this particular batch, and most of our educators are from NLUs, and you have raise a hand feature, live voice solutions by top educators. If you have any doubt, you need not type it down in the chat window. You can directly raise your hand and talk to me in the live sessions. And we have 50 plus additional mock test and weekly sectional test, and 50 plus practice and revision sessions, and also monthly current affairs and GK compendium. If you want to enroll in this particular batch, you have to take a 3-month subscription of Unacademy CLAT, another 5-year LLB exam, which is available at 4,167 rupees per month. But you need not pay 4,167. You can use my code Thrinath 10 THRINATH10 and get additional 10% discount on this as well. So if you're taking the subscription, you will not get access only to this batch, but to all the batches which are there on the Unacademy Learners application in the CLAT and other 5-year LLB exam category, and also unlimited access to mock tests, weekly sectional test, and etc. So now let us understand what exactly are the features of DPSPs. So DPSPs are the instructions or guidelines. You look at this one, we have directives or guidelines or instructions to the state. Okay, here state means the government, that is both central and also state government. Whereas fundamental rights are not instructions, they are the rights which are available to the citizens against the state. Whereas DPSPs are the instructions provided by the Constitution to the states. Okay, so I hope this is clear for everyone. To the state in the sense, the government. And though these principles are non-justiciable, they are fundamental in the governance of the country. This is a very important point, guys. For DPSPs are non-justiciable, which means if DPSPs are violated, you cannot approach any court. But if fundamental rights are violated, you can approach directly the Supreme Court. And but whereas DPSPs are not justiciable, but they are fundamental in the governance of the country, which means that when state is formulating any policy, they have to keep DPSPs in mind. So DPSPs will act as directives or guidelines for the state to formulate policies or laws. Hi Kavya, welcome to the session. How are you? Yeah. Other important thing is that they resemble the instrument of instructions which are enumerated in Government of India Act 1935. This is a very important question, guys. This was asked many times in various law entrance exams in India. So you know that most of our majority of the provisions in the Indian Constitution are taken from Government of India Act 1935. We have discussed in our maybe in the initial lessons, we talked that Indian Constitution is also described as carbon copy of Government of India Act 1935. So we have borrowed a lot of features. In Government of India Act 1935, there were something which is known as instrument of instructions, and they are similar to DPSP. This is a very important point which you have to note down. And DPSPs aim at realizing the high ideals of justice, liberty and equality and fraternity which are outlined in the preamble to the Indian Constitution. How? We are going to discuss in our upcoming classes. And then they embody the concept of a welfare state. What is the concept of a welfare state? So welfare state simply means that state has to provide the minimum basic necessities which are very essential for the welfare of the citizens. So DPSPs make sure that they embody the concept of welfare state, and they seek to establish economic and social democracy. Constitution already guarantees political democracy. Political democracy is already there. We already have the right to vote and etc. We have right to representation. But economic democracy and social democracy are not very specifically mentioned, but DPSPs aim to establish economic and also social democracy. I hope everybody is following the class. Yeah, and they are non-justiciable, as I discussed in the previous slide. Non-justiciable in the sense they cannot be enforced in any court on any ground. If DPSPs are violated, if DPSPs are not enforced, so there is no violation of DPSP. If DPSPs are not enforced, then you cannot approach the court and ask the court that DPSPs are not enforced. But they are fundamental in the governance of country. And another important point is that they help the courts in examining and determining the constitutional validity of a law. If there is any law and if it is giving effect to DPSP, which means if it is enforcing DPSP, then the courts will definitely uphold those laws. They will definitely uphold them as valid. But if they are against DPSPs or against any principle in the Constitution, they will make these laws as null and void. Okay, I hope this is clear for everyone. Chalo. Let me proceed with the first two articles. In today's class, we are going to discuss the first two articles in DPSP. DPSPs are dealt under articles 36 to 51, whereas 36 and 37 are not the actual DPSPs. If you go in the fundamental rights also, we have fundamental rights from 12 to 35, but 12 and 13 are not the actual rights. They are just defining something, or they are definitions. So article 36 provides a definition of state. So what is the definition of state according to article 36? It is same as it is mentioned in part 3. So what is mentioned in part 3 under article 12? Under article 12 and in part 3 it says that state includes government and parliament of India, government and legislature of the states, and all local or other authorities within the territory of India or under the control of government of India. So it is the same definition. So state is same as it is mentioned in part 3 of the Indian Constitution, that is under article 12. So if you are following my classes regularly, you will definitely be in a position to understand these things very well. Okay. Next and the last article is article 37. What is article 37? Article 37 is that the provisions contained in this part, that is part 4, which is DPSP, shall not be enforceable by any court, which means that they are not enforceable in any court on any ground. But the principles therein laid down are nevertheless fundamental in the governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles in making laws. So which means that even though they are not enforceable in court of law, they are fundamental in governance of the country, and state should keep in mind these principles when they are formulating any policies or when they are formulating any laws. Okay, so this is what I have to discuss in today's class. Today we have understood what exactly are DPSPs. DPSPs are dealt under Articles 36 to 51, as we have discussed, and they are borrowed from the Constitution of Ireland. Ireland borrowed it from Spain, and we also discussed, they are not justiciable, and some other features. They resemble government of instrument of instruction, which is there in Government of India Act 1935. And we've also discussed what is Article 36, same as a definition in Article 12. And then we also have discussed Article 37. Article 37 says that DPSPs are not enforceable. So this is what I have to discuss in today's class. Tomorrow we are going to talk about the classification of DPSPs. DPSPs are actually classified into socialist, Gandhian and liberal intellectual principles. This is not the constitutional classification of DPSPs, but we have classified it, based on our convenience. We are going to discuss what are socialist directive principles in tomorrow's class, and day after tomorrow we are going to talk about Gandhian principles, and the next day we are going to talk about liberal intellectual principles. So with this note, I'm ending the class right away. I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow in my next class. Bye bye. See you all. Good night.